No drums announce the arrival of a true samurai. No clamor precedes his step. He moves like wind through bamboo, unseen, disciplined, steady. He lives in a time long past, and yet also in the heart of anyone who refuses compromise and chooses to live by a code. That code is called Bushidō, the way of the warrior. Not a rulebook but a ritual of the soul. A path that begins where fear ends. 1. Gi. Righteousness, unshakable justice. Do what is right even when no one is watching. Even when the world condemns you. Even when you are alone. Righteousness is the cornerstone of Bushidō. It is the ability to distinguish what is right from what is convenient. In an era when samurai could serve as executioners, judges, and protectors all at once, the principle of Gi was what kept them from becoming mere brutes. In feudal Japan, a samurai might be ordered to punish a disobedient peasant. Yet one wise warrior, Hojo Masanori, chose to listen before drawing his blade. He learned the man had disobeyed to save his sick daughter. Masanori knelt before him and said, "My sword is just not blind." This is Gi. Not rigid law but a deep commitment to inner justice. A warrior without righteousness is just a killer. A man with Gi is a mountain unbending to the winds of power. In today's world, Gi means telling the truth even when it costs you. Calling out injustice even when you lose friends. Choosing ethics over advantage. It's quiet, firm, and often lonely. But those who live by it build an inner empire no storm can bring down. 2. You. Heroic courage, the strength to do what's right. He who fears death dies every day. He who looks it in the eye, truly lives. You is not mere bravery. It's courage with wisdom. The strength to act righteously even in the face of danger. To defy a cruel lord. To defend the innocent. To sacrifice everything for a principle. In 1582, during an uprising, a young samurai named Saito Kenshiro chose to hold a bridge alone so his clan could escape. He knew he would die. But he also knew that without him, none would survive. With a single war cry and blade, he held the enemy off for over an hour. In the end, pierced by dozens of arrows, he died standing. His name was remembered, not for victory but for valor. You is not recklessness. It's knowing fear exists but refusing to be ruled by it. The true samurai doesn't seek death. But if life demands sacrifice, he doesn't hesitate. Today you is facing your inner demons. Speaking up when silence is easier. Leaving a toxic job, ending harmful relationships, taking hard steps. It's walking into the fire of uncertainty with your spine straight. You is not noise, it's presence. A life lived completely. 3. Gene. Compassion, power with heart. To have strength and not use it to protect is to be a weapon, not a man. Compassion is what transforms the warrior into a sage. Gene is the heart of the samurai. It is the moral obligation to use one's power to help others, not to dominate. Those who have strength also carry responsibility. A truth as old as battle itself. A legend tells of a samurai named Takeda Jiro, who after a brutal fight, found a child among the fallen, his enemy's son. He could have let the boy die. Instead he raised him as his own. Years later, that same child saved Jiro's life in another war. The cycle of compassion had completed. Gene is seeing the humanity in others, even in foes. Giving without expecting. Healing, protecting, saving, even if no one ever knows. The most powerful sword is the one that does not strike. In the present day, Gene is helping quietly without social media. It's offering a hand to someone who's hurt you. It's the elder who teaches, the doctor who truly listens, the friend who stays. It's the person who, even in the storm, finds a way to shelter another. 4. Rei. Respect, elegance of the soul. He who has respect needs no threats. His presence is enough. Rei is the outer expression of inner harmony. It is respect for others, for oneself, for life itself. It is not weakness. It is contained strength, discipline, deliberate grace. The samurai is a man of war, but also of ritual. He bows before the duel. He washes his face with care before battle. He polishes his armor as if it were a sacred sculpture. Because every gesture is sacred. In the famous duel of Hosoen Bridge, 2 samurai fought for hours. At the end one fell. The other sheathed his sword and helped him to his feet. "You were worthy," he said. That gesture outlived the fight. Rei is what separates the samurai from the criminal. It's knowing one could kill but choosing not to. It's using politeness not to please, but to honor the humanity of the other, even the enemy. Today, Rei is courtesy, speaking with kindness even when under attack, entering a room without arrogance, listening without interrupting, being powerful, gracefully. The sun has set behind the hills of Kansai. Evening silence settles over castle courtyards and forest paths. Yet within every true samurai, the day never ends. The watch continues, because the path of Bushidō has no clock, no pause. It is a flame that burns in every decision. After righteousness, courage, compassion, and respect, come the most intimate virtues, those that define a person beyond their armor: sincerity, honor, and loyalty. Here, in the silence of the soul, the warrior meets himself. 5. Makoto, absolute sincerity. The word of a samurai is stronger than steel, sharper than a blade, more final than death. Makoto is not just truth, it is radical sincerity. It is alignment between thought, word, and action. In Bushidō, to speak is to act. If a samurai says he will return, he returns. If he says he will protect, he protects. He needs no oath, his voice is a vow. In 1603, during the Edo period, a samurai named Kazuki Daisuke received a secret offer: switch allegiances in exchange for vast riches. He said nothing. He bowed silently and left. Days later, he returned every gift and stated, "A word given is worth more than gold. If I lied once, I could never face myself again." That is Makoto, not pleasing others but standing firm. It may cost allies. It may bring poverty, but it leaves the soul intact. In today's world, Makoto is rare. We live in diplomacy, in games of convenience. But Makoto demands clarity. It means being real, not manipulative. Saying no without excuses. Using truth not as a weapon but as a duty. Makoto means looking in the mirror and saying, "I did not betray my word, not today, not ever." 6. Meo, honor, invisible identity. When everything is stripped away, what remains is your name. Meo is the secret heart of the samurai. It is not fame. It is not reputation. It is inner dignity, the value you assign to yourself. To live with honor is to act in such a way that, even alone, even in darkness with no audience, you would still be proud. In 17th century Japan, an elder samurai named Arata fled a battle, disobeying his orders. His peers condemned him, but it was later revealed he had run to save the children of a nearby village from fire. He gave no justifications. He said only, "I prefer the scorn of men to the self-hatred of my heart." After his death, his act was deemed heroic. But he had not waited for that recognition, because his honor did not depend on approval. This is Meo. It is moral autonomy. It is living so you can die without regret. That is why Bushidō includes seppuku, not as punishment, but as the ultimate act of accountability. When failure was absolute, one reclaimed their name through blood. Today, we don't need to die for honor, but we must live for it. It means not selling out, not pretending, not betraying your beliefs, knowing that no victory is worth more than fidelity to your conscience. Meo is not about being famous, it's about being worthy, even in the shadows. 7. Chuggy, loyalty, to the end without conditions. A samurai is not loyal only when it's easy. He is loyal even when it hurts. Chuggy is the 7th and final principle of Bushidō. The quietest, but the most powerful. Loyalty is the hidden soul of the warrior. It is deep, absolute, unwavering commitment to one's lord, one's purpose, one's chosen bonds. Japan reveres the tale of the 47 Ronin. Samurai left masterless after their lord was forced to commit seppuku by a court conspiracy. Many called them disgraced, but they waited, disguised themselves, lived as peasants, merchants, beggars. Then 2 years later they struck precisely and avenged their master's death. They did not flee. They turned themselves in. They chose ritual suicide together. They died not as traitors, but as loyal men. Chuggy today is rare. We live in a time of disposable ties, changing sides at the first discomfort. But Chuggy survives. It is standing by someone who has fallen. Staying silent beside a friend under fire. Defending an idea even when you are the last. It is choosing constancy in a liquid world. To be loyal today is to be unchangeable when everything else shifts. And those who are constant are powerful. The samurai is not a myth. He is not just a man in armor from history books. The samurai is anyone who chooses righteousness over profit, who has the courage to change, who shows compassion in conflict, respect even under pressure, who keeps their word, protects their honor, and remains loyal through the years. Every day is a battlefield. Every relationship a test. Every decision a crossroads. And in all these invisible arenas, Bushido can live, not as a code imposed but as a voluntary choice to be better. A modern samurai is unseen. He wears no kimono. He carries no katana. But he is recognized by his gaze, his discipline, his calm in chaos. For his weapon is not his blade, it is his soul.